thought I was recording right there, and I wasn't even. I did.
Hey everyone, welcome to our debut episode of Scouting with Steve, a behind-the-scenes look at some of the locations we scouted for Soul Survivor. I'm James, and I'm here with my scouting partner, Steve. Say hi, Steve.
Hi. So like we said already, like this was like September 2024. When did you put up your first video?
This was
for Halloween.
this was October 2nd when we did the scouting on this video, but it was, I want to say...
Didn't you try to get it for Halloween for your very first?
I got the very first episode out about October 10th, and we had already scouted this location.
Yeah, we'd already been
Yes,
here.
I was
This was
ready to
old.
go for the second spot
Yeah.
after the first spot. I was pretty good about this early on, and then as the winter dragged on, it's been harder and harder to get out and do newer things.
Yeah. What was the best footage of? Like, what was the oldest grave we saw at Goose Hill here?
We do say it in the video at some point. I believe it was 1720 or something along those lines. Right there is 1750 on the Smith grave.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the birth date, though.
I don't remember the Goose Hill one being that interesting. At the very beginning here, just as next to the road, you got the houses right there. I think my favorite part was like once we actually head down that trail, it's like 500 yards into the woods, and then you get to the desecrated. This is kind of just like the just kick us off for this one.
Yes, I would say it's a very, very small graveyard on top of a hill. There's only like 42, 43 graves or something.
I think when we were up here, I've driven past this 1,000 times living in Rutland.
That's right.
That's the very first time I walked up here.
Steve and I have lived in town for most of our lives, like 90% of our lives. So we know mostly everything. The desecrated graveyard is a big surprise to both of us since we had no idea it even existed in town.
Found any record setters yet?
I wish I could read some of this stuff on
These
the
ones
footage.
are old.
I know.
We should have done the crayon and wax paper stuff, James. I told you that's what the people wanted. Next time.
There's another. It's hidden out there, boy. Somewhere in the wood. I think it might be on that trail we parked on.
Even those ones are hard to read. We gotta get...
Some wax.
If, like, we're gonna, like,
wax
focus
paper.
in on them, we should at least, like, read them. Just so you have it. Like, if you see one interesting.
You've
anyway.
suggested that I put the captions on the actual graves, and so have my brother, so maybe I will start to implement that in future
Because
episodes.
they're even hard to see. Like, even when you're there, they're hard to read.
Yes.
Never mind on film.
Yeah, just watching on green.
I wouldn't say this place is desecrated, just old as shit, falling apart. So I think a lot of these posts, these things that we keep seeing everywhere, I think they're for fence plots. I think they surround... That's what I mean. It's a fence posts, like they built the chain fence around them and everything.
Did we have any actual history? Like,
Of
from
this?
the Goose Hill portion of this?
Oliver Chickering up there was at the top of the frame in the last scene there.
Oliver Chickering.
He was the guy who helped Paul Revere in the Revolution.
Oh, yeah, you could, you said that in
Yeah.
the actual video, I think, right?
Yes, right here is where I'm actually coming up with the idea for scouting with Steve. Let's say it right there.
Graves that still have family. A lot of 1800s though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as. I think the old burial ground's the oldest one so far.
Boring. 1650 is crazy.
Like this, the web.
I originally planned to use this as the thumbnail of the video, and I totally didn't.
Alright, I might as well
It is good, though.
I do like it, yeah.
Good shot.
Doing that otherwise. I do like this tree down though. That's a good one. That's a good one.
So this is like the trail heading in.
Yes, this is heading into the actual prison camp cemetery now. I read that it was a half mile. It is absolutely not a half a mile.
I mean, it's still pretty far in there for spending the night back there, because it is creepy back there.
Yes.
This was not a half a mile.
Certainly not. Assuming the viewers have seen the original video.
I would hope so. If you have not seen the original episode, click off of this episode and go watch the original episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are made of wood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they might have been replaced
Oh,
by...
there's even a thing.
Yeah. I think they might have been replaced because they were iron originally and people might have stolen them or something like that.
What was this, your second actual episode?
Yes. I was still learning. I still am learning.
They were at least back here by 95.
Yeah, those are just, they were upgraded to wood.
I think so, because they would not have lasted that long.
No,
you know?
they like redid it.
Here's where we discover the actual dug-up hole.
Yeah, so there's those holes you were mentioning.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just naturally sunken in or if those are like the ones we're talking about being dug up. Holy shit!
Is that what they're talking about when they say desecrated? Like that huge dugout grave?
It's all captioned in there.
But if you actually look at the ground here, you can see.
I think that might be natural.
You can see like 20 of them in a row right here.
I think that might be natural sinking. Obviously, this is something else. They didn't quite make it 6 feet down, though, I don't think.
Get down in there.
I don't know if I feel right about that.
Get down in there. Yeah, I was trying to get you to get in there.
You say it about 20 times.
You wouldn't get in.
Say that to you.
They are all sunken in.
Yeah. It's old.
You can't really tell how sunken in all these graves are.
Not all at once. I get some good angles on a few of them, and you start seeing how sunken.
That's what makes it so creepy, how sunken all of them are. It's
Mhm.
like they're just like cheap burials. I don't know, like they weren't 6 feet down originally. Yeah, like that's what it was. Like it all deteriorated.
Yeah.
And each of those graves is like sunken like a foot or a foot and a half.
I was saying.
It's like where the body was. Like they weren't in a, maybe they just weren't in a casket. That's what makes this the creepiest graveyard I've ever been in,
Yes.
I think.
Also, it's hidden behind the other graveyard.
Yeah, it's just hidden, and there's really no
weird
sign.
location. Never heard of this place once.
What'd you say? Because the Boy Scouts redid all those wooden crosses. What were they originally?
They were iron.
They were iron.
Yeah.
You said it's like someone stole them.
That's what I read. I mean, if it's been around since before World War II, there's always a chance that somebody had scavenged the metal for war efforts or something like that. There was a big restriction on metal back in that time.
I like that place.
We could do that too. Look how many there are.
I think that tree that's cut down there wasn't there when those graves were originally placed.
Yeah, probably not.
Like,
well, that picture.
do we have any idea what the actual date is on those? Do you know?
1905 was the latest burial in this grave.
In this one, yeah. So that tree like
graveyard.
wasn't there. Like when that grave was made, that tree hadn't even started growing.
I have that black and white picture of the graveyard in the actual episode from like I think it's the 40s, 30s, somewhere around there. But the trees are very small. This is all cleaned up. It's actually like a pretty cleaned out.
This probably was fields back then because that's what the prison camps was. It was fields.
I think it's just like I said, mass and mass of pine needles that started covering everything, and then nobody kept up with anything back here.
No.
So,
like that one, you can see it kind of in the bottom right corner of the screen. That one's pretty sunken. You can pretty tell.
Yeah, I'm already on the roll. Get to the end of it, and then I'll stop. All right, what? I said I do want to get a couple different angles like that. That's crazy.
well, this one's also pretty sunken.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna get in it now, I guess. Yeah.
You're fucked.
And you can tell how sunken it is. I'm giving scale
That's a good.
here.
Yeah, that is for scale. That is completely for scale only.
I am cursed now. Ever since this, I swear my life has been spiraling. Some bad luck since I did that. You know.
Lay down. I'm not laying down in it. I'm not scared of doing it. Just don't want to lay in someone's grave right now.
I just don't know the mood to lay someone's grave.
That goes probably back to the camps. Alright, I'll be with you in a second. Definitely all sunken in.
That kind of looks like the shape of a human. That last one. Alright, so now we're in Rutland prison camps. It's getting towards the end of the day. We did hit a few places in between all of these locations, but we will get to that at another time. And for anybody interested in the actual history of the Rutland prison camp, I did freeze frame here. I suggest pausing so you can actually read it. I didn't really give you too much time.
what they done did.
Oh, they uncovered it more. So you could actually get to it.
I had hopes of doing a full Soul Survivor episode here at some point, but the whole place is wired with trail cams that we think might link back directly to the police station, so we are not taking that chance just yet.
Be all like overgrown and everything.
Yeah, they had to like expose it so that like
People wouldn't fall into it and shit.
People are really resisting now. All the train here. I'm sure this netting was all.
Yeah, probably wrapped around it all.
Well, it's still intact. Huh. You want to get in there?
Yeah.
So this is the tunnel from the intro, where I was, looked up at you. There's so much shit in there. All on the ground. I feel like I remember that tire being there from when I was like 14.
I still don't know exactly what this tunnel original purpose was for, to be honest. I want to say, like, it's not like it's like a root cellar. It's
No, we're thinking possibly sewage system tunnel kind of deal.
It's kind of big. Like, I don't know.
It's pointing in the direction of the cell block, and it goes back past that way where the old foundations were.
I wonder if it connected two buildings, because it's not like a sewer. I don't think they make sewers.
Yeah,
so you can
it
walk
could have
in.
just been like a hallway, but that ending is just like this tiny square in the wall itself.
It is interesting. What I can't imagine it's actually just a sewer drainage. Like it's full height that you can walk down. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not exactly 100% sure. You get a shot from above here where you were looking down originally. You can imagine walking around in the dark and falling down into that on top of all the rocks and broken glass and things down there. That's why the netting was up, but people didn't like the netting.
Drop your phone right into the hole. Damn it!
So the next shot's completely the only reason why I originally even wanted to come down here was just the cell block itself to throw in the intro of that first episode.
Yeah, that's just that tunnel is kind of a small part. This is why everyone
shot.
This is why everyone goes down to their own their own prison camps. They all want to go check out these prison cells. Word of the street is this is the cell of the man's grave I was just laying in.
So Steve's mentioning here again how this is the grave, the cell of the grave he laid in.
Some good sized holes in here, boy.
DCR, get down.
I'm wondering how long it is until the rest of the roof collapses. Like, I don't even know why the actual center of the room's just not enough support, I guess, across the ceiling.
Some of that might have just been like vandalism.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe people just breaking the roof when they climbed up so they can climb up the other side. I don't know.
Yeah, that's their car.
It's nice weather that day, though. You were complaining about being too hot.
It was.
This is the actual root cellar from what I read. And the hospital is like those foundations that are up on the hill, like behind this, like way further.
We didn't go up there though.
No, we didn't.
That's
go
very
up there.
overgrown now. There's a geocache up there though.
Yes. We got this nice ominous shot of Steve.
Oh yeah, this was. Didn't we do? Was that the one?
No, we do a good one.
I thought we did a silly one. We're supposed to be.
We do a silly one, and then it gets even sillier from there. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah, no, you're good. Just do whatever you want.
That gate. Some rednecks hooked up a chain to that gate and ripped it off 2 weeks after the state put it up.
Yep. Probably not even 2 weeks. So we got this one shot, and then I did something special with it right after this that you haven't seen yet. And I'm thinking I'm gonna.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, I'm thinking I'm gonna use this clip in the future.
Yeah, that's really good.
I do want to make an actual intro for.
That's.
Soul
I want that to
Survivor.
be I want that for Scouting with Steve. I want that for me.
Okay.
You know?
Here we have a montage of Steve and me building the tent from the first episode over the credits. I would like to say I did everything completely by myself. I do partake in the actual overnight event and pre-night event by myself, but Steve has a credit for a reason.
That was a lot of fun to build that. Where'd he go?
Cops without a fine.
All right, that about does it for our first episode of Scouting with Steve. I want to thank everybody for viewing and try to remember to like, subscribe, and comment.
Like and subscribe, baby.
All right, sounds good. All right, good night, everybody. Say bye, Steve.
Bye-bye.